This is going to be a short demo video showing you how to do a metallic chrome, a shiny reflective metal surface on your objects here. And we're going to be using just the Maya software renderer. We're not going to be using Mental Ray for this. So again, we're going to be just doing a very simple chrome metallic reflective surface using the Maya software renderer. And to do this, I have two objects here. I have a polygon object and a NURB object, and we're going to put the surface on both of these surfaces here. You can see that it'll work with both a polygon and a NURB. I also have a background here. It's just a checkerboard room because a shiny metallic chrome surface needs something to reflect in order for it to have the effect. So to get started, I'm going to just go in here and I'm going to make the background invisible so we can see what we're doing. We can get that out of the way, and I'm going to make that come back in just a second. So to start off here, I'm going to apply the surface material to, I'm going to start with the polygon, and to do that I'm going to just select it and right click over it, and I'm going to assign new material. Now this can be done through the Hypershade as well, but I'm going to be doing it this way, and then I'll show you what it looks like in the Hypershade. So I'm going to assign new material, and this will bring up the this assign material window, and we're going to assign a blend. Now and then I'm going to rename it something like Chrome, like that, so we can come back to, we know what it is. And a blend is just a it's a shiny surface compared to a Lambert, which is more of a flat surface. So a blend gives you this kind of this shiny, smooth looking surface here. So now with the attribute editor for the chrome surface that I just created and put on this ball here, I'm going to change some of the attributes here, and I'm going to start with the color, and I'm going to bring the color all the way to black. Black is basically no color at all. A metal surface doesn't have any color necessarily, but it's reflecting everything, all the light and all of the environment around it. And all of these other things we can pretty much leave the same. And let's see what we've got here. We're going to go to specular shading, and what we're going to do with specular shading is we're going to make the specular color just white. Now if you look here, what's going to go on is that the specular is like that highlight, is where the point of light, where the source of the light is being reflected, and you can control that a little bit. And we can also control the size of that, which is the eccentricity. And basically, the bigger the highlight, the less reflective it's going to look, and the smaller the highlight. So if I were to bring this back down to 1.75, like that, a smaller highlight is going to appear more reflective. And you can play with that a little bit. You can make it smaller or bigger depending on how reflective you want that surface to be. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to bring the reflectivity all the way up to 1. So this is a highly reflective surface. 1 is the it's going to be the biggest number, the biggest value that you can put on this surface here. And then reflective color, you can play with the reflective color. We're just going to leave that at black for right now. You can also, if you wanted to, put in an image, a reflective image, but we're actually going to be reflecting this image around it. So now if I were to look at this and we were to do a test render, we actually don't have anything going on. And the reason we don't have anything reflective right now is that we have to go and we have to change our render settings to tell it to be reflective, to tell the scene to actually reflect all of this information here. So I'm going to go into the rendering editors, render settings, and we're going to just keep it at Maya software. If it's on anything else like Mental Ray, you want to set it to Maya software, and then we're going to go into the Maya software tab right underneath that, and we're going to change the quality, and we're going to change that quality to production quality. In order to see reflections well, we can really boost up the quality. If we start getting into a complicated scene, it's going to have a slow render time. But for this, it's going to render pretty fast, and we're going to keep it at highest quality like that. Then we're going to scroll down just a little bit, and we're going to go down here to ray tracing quality. We're going to open up that tab, and we're going to check ray tracing, and that's important. Ray tracing is a function which tells the Maya renderer to calculate all of the information, all of the light, all the reflection from the objects. It calculates shadows, it calculates refraction and reflection like we're doing here. So let's turn that off and let's do a little test render and see what we have. And as you can see, maybe I'll make that a little bigger and do another test render here. Let's get in a little closer here on this ball, and let's just do a render here. And you can see that this ball is reflecting, and it looks like a shiny metal chrome ball that we've got surfaced onto this sphere here. Let's go and open up the Hypershade Rendering Editors Hypershade and just take a look at the shader network that we've created here. And I can do that by making this a little bigger. Let's put this down. There's our Chrome shader, and I can bring it down into here, into our work area here. And if I press this little button here, that expands it out. Whoops, I have to select it, and that expands it out. And it shows you that I have a very simple shader network here. There's really not much going on other than just reflectivity. So with that selected, I'm going to, if I wanted to put this surface onto this sphere here, which is the NURB sphere, I can do it two ways. I can go right click over the NURB sphere and go assign existing material and choose that chrome surface there. But I can also do it from the Hypershade. I can select that chrome surface, middle mouse drag it on top of that, and now we have the same surface on both of those spheres. And let's just do a little test render here. And we have two metal spheres, highly reflective, and as you can see, it's reflecting what's around it. What we're seeing here, this little black part, is that there's nothing, so it's reflecting basically nothing, and we can play around with the position if we were to come in a little closer and do a render like that. We can render, it's going to reflect pretty much what is being seen. So if we wanted to have something reflected there would have to be an object or an image behind here for it to reflect.